This is a video I've been wanting to do for quite some time, but I've actually not really had the nerve to do so, but here goes now. I wonder what people think of this statement. Europe, with its aging population, needs immigrants, but Europeans cannot reconcile themselves to the demographic change that immigration implies. Now, the reason why I've been avoiding saying this is, me, a Canadian, with a very liberal, in a country with a very liberal immigration policy and a rapidly, shall we say, browning population, is here lecturing those backward Europeans on the virtues of tolerance and multiculturalism. I know how that sounds, but I don't mean it that way, and people are just going to have to take my word for it that I don't. Canadians and Americans have long gotten used to the fact that the demographics of their country are going to change from generation to generation. We more or less expect that to happen. Europe has never come across this before. It must be profoundly disorienting. And for the record, I don't believe that somebody who just has misgivings or a sense of unease about the rapidly changing demographics of a lot of European cities and societies in general is a racist. I don't think that it's racist to have concerns, but I do think that racists can exploit those concerns, and that's the danger. Which brings me to Anders Behring Breivik. Okay, maybe that was the sort of concern that informed his actions. He mowed down a bunch of white people in his insane, senseless, and tragic attack. People that he believed were complicit in, I guess, some sort of white genocide against the Norwegian race, if one must call it that. Which kind of ties into this business of immigration and the need for immigration. It must create a lot of, I suppose, tension. This catch-22 that Europe's population is aging. They need Europe needs new arrivals to pay for everyone's retirement or to do the work, I suppose. But it's uneasy about the rapid demographic change. Now, again, look what Breivik did. He did something horrific and basically discredited his own cause, his own idea, or maybe it wasn't even his cause. The psychologists are still having a go at him. But his cause that there's something worth saving called the Danish people, or sorry, the Norwegian people. The Norwegian people as they were 100 years ago. Now, what I wonder is, why didn't Anders Breivik, an obviously handsome young fellow, if you look at his photos, I've left a link below, he strikes me as the sort of guy that a woman would find quite attractive if he wasn't such a demonic maniac mass murderer, but just by the look of him, he looks like the sort of fellow that would be appealing to a woman. Why didn't he go get himself a nice Norwegian wife and produce 6 to 8 young Norwegian Nordic children? That would have been a lot more useful than just killing a bunch of people in terms of maintaining the stock. And again, I'm not even saying that that's necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people might say that, oh, I don't know about that, this business of deliberately producing children of a certain race, that smacks somewhat of eugenics, but everybody has done that. Every society has done that to a certain extent. In Canada, we had the phenomenon called La Revanche des Berceaux, which is loosely translated as the revenge of the cradle, where the French Canadians knew that they were getting outnumbered by the English by dint of immigration. So they decided to just have families of 10 to 15 kids, which is why today you have so many French Canadians with the same names. There's approximately, I think, 8 million of them, and they're descended essentially from 60,000 people. So wanting to actually keep Norway Norwegian, again, it's understandable, but it's something that is very easily exploited by extremely unsavory people. And inevitably, the answers proposed by these unsavory people aren't really going to solve the problem anyway. It'll just allow people to sort of get this unease out of their system in a cathartic moment, as Mr. Breivik did. If people really want to redress the demographic problem in Europe, they can do it. The thing is, are they willing to do it? Does a decision have to be made? Do the Europeans have to reconcile themselves to changing demographics, or have more kids? Is it this kind of a fork in the road? I won't claim that I have the answers, but it does strike me as a subject that cries out for serious, sane discussion. And again, just so everyone knows, any racist, offensive, or xenophobic remarks will be removed and possibly their authors blocked. Just so you know. Thank you.